Okay, we had the new parts come through from the factory. We'll get them on the car ahead of FP1.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode number 28 of the F1 2018 Career Mode Championship. Right there you can see on the right hand of your screen we got a major, not a major, it's even better than that. It was an ultimate upgrade to the weight reduction, and we also got a durability upgrade as well. But the most important thing is the gain from the weight reduction at a track like Canada, where you know, it's going to be so important to have a light chassis. It's going to be much easier on the tyres, I would imagine. Having a lighter car, less energy going through the tyres, and just overall being faster in a straight line, being more nimble in the corners. It's just the best upgrade I think you could possibly put on the car on the F1 2018 game, and we've now got it on the car. So that is absolutely amazing. So heading into this race, we were already a front-running team for the most part. If you saw Monaco, we were absolutely dominant there. I'd imagine that this upgrade will really cement us as a top team going forward in this season. So really looking forward to how it plays out in this Canadian Grand Prix. Qualifying one, you saw we got like 8th place. That was a pretty tardy lap. It was just really just a securer to get myself into the next session. We'll let ourselves go loose a little bit more in this next part of qualifying. So you can see through here, this is the end of the session. Absolutely flying through the final chicane there. The car feels great through there. Change of direction is amazing, and as such gives us the best last sector of the lap, and puts us through to qualifying 3. You can see Charles actually getting the best time out of anyone, a 1 minute 6.7, and 9/10 clear of myself there. So Charles absolutely stonking lap there. It looks like maybe Sauber is the best car on the grid now, and Charles is going to be a formidable opponent to beat. This could be a track where the AI maybe are a little bit stronger than the player. I mean, I felt like I got a good lap out there. I could probably go a little bit faster in the next session, but still, I don't know if I'm capable of doing a 1 minute 6. That's an insane time. But anyway, first lap here, you can see this has been a much more tidy lap than maybe what I've attempted so far in Saturday qualifying. We do a 1 minute 7.1, so we're very, very close to the 6s and 4/10 away from what Charles did last session. This time, though, Charles not really backing it up with a good time there. He's gone a second or 9/10 slower than what he did last session. So a bit of a role reversal for the teammates in this last lap here. I'm just going to go absolutely balls to the walls and see if I can beat this time. But the lap was so solid, I'm really struggling to beat it. So we'll fly through the final chicane. I've gone through a little bit too fast. And that is the session, for me anyway, over. I mean, it was looking very unlikely that I'd beat my time. I had to go beyond the limit, to be honest, to try and beat the time. It wasn't to be, and if anything, I don't think we lose anything out of that. I don't know if I was going to beat it, even if I nailed it. But that is the grid for the qualifying session here in Canada. In the end there, Charles not improving. I don't know if I caused the yellow flag and allowed everyone to slow down there, but very, very interesting that Charles has gone 9/10 slower in Q3. There seems to be a bit of a trend. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen a little bit. That Charles often goes fastest in Q2, and then Q3 falls away a little bit. I'm not too sure what the deal is there, but it's P2 for the Canadian Grand Prix. Charles is the fastest person on the grid, so he's certainly going to be one to watch, but the battle between myself and Hamilton is going to be intriguing for this race. Literally nothing separating us in qualifying, and nothing as well separating us in the championship. Just 1 point. I'm really looking forward to this battle with Lewis Hamilton for this Canadian Grand Prix. Let's get it started.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
We've qualified above where we expected to be, so try your best to hold on to this position in the race.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, guys, to the Canadian Grand Prix. Bit of a fun fact. On Friday practice, the team were asking me to get pole position in terms of my qualifying pace program, so that was pretty interesting. But they weren't expecting pole for qualifying. Pretty weird. But anyway, here we are, ready for the start of this race. We're getting straight into the action here. 5 red lights, and away we go, finally, for the Canadian Grand Prix. Great launch versus Lewis Hamilton, though. He has the track position heading into turn 1. Let's see if we can hold it around the outside. No, we can't. I tried to. Maybe if I was a bit more aggressive and if I held my car a little bit tighter to Lewis Hamilton's, we might have had a chance in the turn 2, but not quite the case. Vettel now looking very aggressive in this first sector of the race. You know, opportunities are, you know, few and far between to make some positions up early on in the race. First lap is always your best chance, and if you leave it a little bit too late, then you may never get that position back, and that might be the case for Vettel as we look to streak away in this Grand Prix. So Hamilton leads, we're P2, Vettel third. I believe my teammate Charles Leclerc is in P4 with Raikkonen in P5, who bottled the final chicane there in front of a Red Bull and the rest of the mid-pack runners. But yeah, early doors, Hamilton has a lot of pace. He was stretching out the lead a little bit. He was maybe 2 tenths faster than me. I did like an invalidated 10.7. And he was doing like 10.5, 10.4s. Vettel did a 10.4, I know that for the most part. But as the stint wore on, I was actually matching my personal best times. And if anything, maybe even gaining a little bit of time on the Hypersoft tyres. So the ultimate upgrade that we put on the car for tyre wear a couple of races ago is really starting to come in clutch now, because it's keeping us in the battle here with Lewis Hamilton. We cut to our teammate there last lap because he was having some issues with his car. The engineer said he was slowing down, but now you can see at the end of lap 5, we've caught up to Hamilton again. I've used up all my battery and quite a bit of fuel to do so, but we are in attacking range of Lewis Hamilton now, and for the rest of, well, first half of this lap, we're actually going to save a bit more battery, charge it up, save a little bit of fuel if we need to, and then we're going to have a solid go at Lewis Hamilton here to see if we can get the lead on the next DRS straight. No, he pulls into the pit lane to dive in for his first stop of the day. So what was looking like an inevitable move for the lead has kind of been taken away from us there. We've been robbed, unfortunately. Hamilton making his first pit stop and going onto the super soft tyres. I don't know if he's gone on for a one stop now or if he's going to come in late in the race. We'll have to wait and see. But Vettel dives into the pits in response to Hamilton. He's going on to the ultra soft tyres, so the middle compound, and it looks like he's going to be doing a 2-stop for sure, just like we are. But he gets held in the pit lane there for one of the Red Bulls, and that is quite crucial. He gets jumped by Hamilton by a long way, and we might be able to do the same. You can see Leclerc there, caught up behind quite a few cars there.
Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, we're going to be coming in at the end of this lap. I don't know. Am I getting sick? I'm not too sure. I hope not. But anyway, we're diving in. We're going to lose the lead to Hamilton. He was in front of us anyway, heading into the pit stops. It's going to be interesting to see if we can jump Vettel here. He got the 1-lap undercut, but like you saw in the pit lane, he got held up massively. So hopefully we can get a good stop here from the boys. 2.6. Pretty clean pit stop, in and out of the stop. And away we go back out on the circuit. There goes Vettel. We have the shorter run into turn 3 and 4 though, so we might get this back. Yes, we do. So it's P2 once again in this Canadian Grand Prix, and the battle once again is on for the minor placings on the podium. But the crucial part is now is that we're on the ultra soft tyres. We're a compound softer than what Hamilton is, and we're pretty equal on pace, so we might be able to close him in here in this stint. But if Hamilton is doing a 1-stop, he won't be stopping again for the rest of this race, and there might be rain a little bit later on. There's a lot of question marks, but either way, we need to get to the lead. We need to bridge the gap to Hamilton, and hope that that's enough to chase him down in the dying laps of the Grand Prix. That's the scenario now. So let's see if we can do it. I won 10.1 on the last lap, so that was pretty solid. A good half a second faster than what we were managing in the first, and that's for sure. But yeah, we're closing him in, and as we get DRS, as we get slipstream, we're just going to get ever faster now and be more potent in lap time wise. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, lap 13, we're getting towards the midway point of this second stint here. We don't have too long on these tyres, so we need to use them up while we can. We're going to go to the outside here through turn 1. This is the move for the lead of the race, around the outside. It'll turn to the inside for the next right-hander, and that is the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix right then and there. Hamilton had nothing to fight with there on his super soft tyres. He's got to look after them and make sure they get to the end, and so he is playing the long game here. But what a move that was, round the outside. We had the grip, we had the traction, and we had the speed, and Hamilton just had no response. So There we go. Just amazing move around the outside. Here's another look at it from Hamilton's positional camera, from TV cameras. He gets a really bad run out of turn 2 and leaves a bigger gap than what is ideal. But yeah, it's going to be crucial for us now to pull away from Hamilton, make sure we can break outside of 1 second. DRS coupled with the slipstream is very, very powerful in this game. So hopefully if we can bridge that gap, then we should be in a good stead for this race. But Hamilton is ever consistent. He's ever fast. And my tyres are actually starting to go off a little bit now. So it may be quite difficult in the end to break away from Hamilton if this driving keeps up. But we gapped him by 1.3 seconds now, so that is encouraging.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left. Pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps.
So yeah, there you go. Not much time on these tyres, so we've got to make them work while we've got them on the car. But it looks like Hamilton is coming back at us now. Looks like the tyres may be starting to go off and Hamilton's phasing in quite well here. This is a bit of a surprise attack from Hamilton into the hairpin here. Bit of contact. Yellow flag up ahead. I think that's Lance Stroll, who was pulled off to the side of the circuit or is limping back to the pit lane, either or. Which means no overtaking will take place on this straight. So that kind of saves my bacon there. I was not in a good position fuel-wise and just getting off of the hairpin there. So allowed us to keep the lead there just for an extra lap or two. But it could be a matter of time before he gets us back.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you for that, Jeff. So yeah, if we have a look at that and look at where our pit strategy lies for the rest of this race, I don't know if we'll be able to stretch these current tyres to make it when it starts raining. So I think I'm going to dive it in early and get the most out of the next set of ultra soft tyres. So it's a bit of a risk here. We're giving Hamilton clear air. It's allowing him to push on his own merit now. He can probably go a little bit faster now that I've cleared away from him, but it puts us in a bit of traffic. It means that if the rain never comes, then we may not make it to the end. There's a lot of possibilities here for the second half of this race, and everyone around me is pinning onto supers, so maybe the ultras won't be able to make it. I've just got to hope like hell that it rains before my tyres go off. But yeah, we're going to push like hell for the next 10 or so laps until the rain comes down. Like I said, Hamilton, I don't believe he'll be stopping in this race, so he's going to be stretching it until the rain period hits, or just cruising to the end. But we're closing in the gap quite massively now. The gap is only 14 seconds to Hamilton, so he's either hit some traffic or he's really backed off now to look after his tyres to get to this next rain period. But for us, all guns blazing. You know, fastest laps will be coming in for the next few laps while we get the most out of these tyres. But yeah, whoa, Hamilton's in the pits. He's responded. Maybe he didn't like what was happening there with the fast lap set by us there. We were really closing him in there, but I was not expecting a response from Hamilton this early. And as such, we get a massive undercut on Hamilton, and we have the lead by the best part of 5 seconds.
Whose call was it to bring me in? It's a terrible idea.
This is James, I understand. We're still with you, mate. It's my mistake, but give us what you can.
I want to say something, but I just leave me to it, Bono.
Yeah, so Hamilton is clearly pissed off after that strategy call from Mercedes. He was in the box seat. He was leading by 15 seconds. He had the super soft tyres on, which I thought could do the majority of the race. He's now thrown away the lead for God knows what reason, but we're catching up to Sorokin here. That was the worst place on the circuit to let me go through. You've not only held yourself up massively, but you've held me up too. So cheers for that. But this race has really come alive now. The undercut, turns out it's going to be a brilliant strategy. The Ferrari's now battling really hard over the spot on the podium, and my teammate there is right in the watching brief. I don't know what's going on with my commentary today. It is, it's all over the place. Thankfully my driving is much better, but yeah, we put ourselves in a commanding position in this race. I will say we put ourselves in a bit of a tricky scenario with the fuel and also the battery. We pretty much have no fuel left to play with in the dying laps of this race, so we're going to have to save quite a bit of that, and Hamilton has fresher tyres now, so he will be coming back at me. It's just a case of will he catch me, will he overtake me before the rain hits, and I think the question might be yes. Here he goes round the outside into the middle sector, straight there, can't quite get the move done there, but Hamilton has a whole bucket load of pace over me. But meanwhile, the battle for third place is still raging on. It's a bit like a Star Wars movie at the moment. There's just battles all around the place, and I'm trying to do my best to keep an eye on both the battles. This is literally live. Like, while I'm battling with Hamilton, my teammate is battling with both the Ferraris. Hamilton not getting a great run out of the final chicane. So that's going to set him back by another lap before overtaking me. But speaking of overtaking, here is my teammate on Sebastian Vettel. He moves himself up in a P4, squeezes him out very nicely, and that is another move done and dusted. My young French teammate there. But yeah, back to our battle. It's not a great run through the middle sector chicane. Hamilton might have a go into the hairpin. No, he doesn't. We run in a little bit too deep there, and that might open up a move for Hamilton on this DRS straight. So let's have a bit of a comparison. We normally have Hamilton covered off on this straight. I don't think he deploys all too much battery on that part, but it's more like the middle sector and a run into this hairpin here where he's really, really strong. On this occasion, I've actually decided to save more fuel and actually let him go. I wanted to see what it was like for us because we're so strong on this back straight. I thought I'd save more fuel and then just slingshot past him and see what happens. But unfortunately, we didn't get DRS, and it looks like it's pretty difficult to get back past him again. So hopefully we can get this move done. Yes, we do get back into the lead, thanks to Hamilton leaving us some space there. But that was a little too close for comfort. I will not be doing that again. That experiment is just a little bit too risky. So I tried it just to see if we could save more fuel and also get a cheap, easy shot at the lead once again in the process. But yeah, that was not a good strategy. We won't be doing that again. But yeah, this is the zone right here. Hamilton gets a great exit every single time off that long right-hander. I really have nothing to fight with, even though I'm in rich and overtake, trying to keep him behind. It leaves me very, very vulnerable on the run into this next left-hander. But yeah, very, very close scenes here. I think there was actually contact on the run into this hairpin. Not hairpin, chicane. Yeah, just a little bit. Hamilton kind of moved over, but to be fair, I could have left him a bit more space myself. But here we go on lap 30. Only 5 laps to go. Hamilton goes for a dive for the lead once again. It'll be interesting to see who gets DRS here. Flip a coin. It could be either of us. I think it might be Hamilton, though. Yes, he does get DRS. And again, it looks like we have him covered off.
Good job.
So I don't understand how we're so fast on this straight, but on the middle sector straight, we've got no pace. It's really, really puzzling. But 4 laps to go. The rain still hasn't hit yet. It was supposed to hit, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 laps ago, but it should certainly be time for intermediate tyres by now, I would have thought. But, you know, it's getting to the point where it's almost not worth pitting for intermediate tyres. Here goes Hamilton up the inside on this middle sector straight. Like, literally nothing I can do here. AI is so strong and leaves us in a very tricky position every single time. Sergio Perez is out of the Grand Prix. Again, Hamilton has no response for us on that back straight. So we overtake Perez here. Yeah, nothing really doing there. But yeah, 3 laps to go. The rain still isn't quite here. It's very, very close. I'd say maybe a lap or 2 and we might see some rain. But at this stage, I don't think I'm going to pit. I think I'm going to stay out on the dry tyres. No matter how much it rains now, it's certainly not going to be worth throwing away potentially the lead of the Grand Prix, only to be on intermediate tyres for a lap or 2. We'll switch, we'll put intermediate tyres on just in case, maybe if we get front wing damage or something, but it's the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. This is Hamilton's maybe one and only chance to get the lead. He doesn't do so, and we hold on to the lead for the moment, but yeah, here we go. The rain never hit. Like, it's so weird. It should have happened 10-15 minutes ago, but it just never happened. Hamilton decided to back off. I think maybe he was saving his tyres, saving fuel. I'm not too sure. The pace, as the race went on for us, became a little bit easier to deal with from Hamilton. And as such, we are going to get away with another victory in this Season 2 career mode. We have absolutely stolen this one from under Mercedes' nose. I absolutely love it.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Sauber. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. and that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Looks like they're on their way out to the podium now, and what a result this is, and what a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Sauber team on top here today.
So there we go. That is, I think, win number 3 for us now. I don't know what to say. That was just absolutely unbelievable. Took a gamble doing the undercut. We managed to outplay Mercedes. They had the pace at the end there, but we just had the consistency and just had enough in hand to keep them behind. And even with the rain not coming, which was a bit of a disadvantage for us, we still managed to make it work, make the tyres last to the end, and that was the race. I was just so satisfied with that result. It gives us the lead of the Drivers' Championship now, 6 points to Hamilton. Charles had a pretty good day despite his issues early on in the race. I don't know if they were really holding him back, but he did overtake one of the Ferraris at the end there. Could have almost got the other one and got on the podium himself there, but what a day. What a day. Sauber is a force to be reckoned with now. Like, surely we are the best car, or one of the best cars on the grid.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it?
A win at Monaco is probably better.
You must be thrilled to be up on the podium.
Yeah, was pretty much expecting it after Charles's effort in quali.
Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you?
Yeah, he's in a Haas to be fair, so I don't really blame him.
You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure?
I'm happy, but we can only take it one race at a time. Still a long way to go. Typical answer.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Claire. And that is the end of this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, 3rd race win of the season. Yeah, I'm almost speechless. It's been a really good road to get to where we are. Charles showed us just what the potential of this car was in qualifying. It's a real shame that he wasn't able to back up that pace in Q3 and also the race as well. It could have been a really, really good fight for the victory with him, but I'm almost got to have, you know, an eye looking over my shoulder now to keep an eye on what he's doing. His pace at times can be very, very phenomenal, and we can't underestimate him going forward in this season. But that's his episode for today. We have a major drag reduction upgrade heading our way potentially for the next race. We did cover that in the last episode, I believe, so hopefully that upgrade can go on the car. You know, just looking at each individual, you know, component of our performance, we're right up there. We're either like 3rd or 4th best in whatever department we look at now, so that's really encouraging to see. If you look at the performance bar there, like, we're pretty much right there with the front running teams, some of which, you know, those guys in front of us probably have a few more reliability stuff, which kind of like bumps them up a little bit further and doesn't tell the true picture of what the actual performance is. But nevertheless, we've got a great car under us, one that can certainly win races and championships now. So let's see what the rest of the season holds. We're in a really good position in the drivers and the constructors as well, so it may only be a matter of time before we get these titles, but never say never. Until the next episode, I'll see you guys next time.